That's right! Greetings, fellow Armchair Imagineers! Tiki here!
And a smelliphant expert.
My god. Jesus Christ.
Say hi, Obi. Good talk.
So let's not waste any time, Pi. Tell me of your pilgrimage. Was it as religious of an experience as I was hoping? Did you see God in the
cult-like nature of their sponsor? Religious actually probably would be a way to describe it. Not for me. Oh, hi, theme park priest from somewhere in between Tokyo Disneyland and USJ.
I love that he's taking the time in his trip to actually watch this. That's dedication for you.
But no, the smelliphants were actually kind of cute. Really kind of loved them. I was all expecting to make fun of it, and I started off sarcastically making jokes about it with my family. By the end, I'm like, "Oh, this cotton candy smells nice."
Oh my god!
I got a really rough start though, because the very first elephant was popcorn, the one I expected to smell the best, and it didn't smell. There was zero scent. I think it was broken.
That's weird.
And
I mean, and popcorn is
there the same day.
What?
I think
Sorry?
we were both there Wednesday.
Who was? Sorry?
Me and Ace, who also loves to smell elephants. We might have been sniffing elephants mere feet from each other and not realized it.
Jesus Christ. I love it. Okay, just to address some comments here really quick. We got Tegan, we got Ace, we got Outbound, and we got Muppets Fan. And yes, Muppets Fan, I have grown a mustache and beard. I literally couldn't remember if that was there the last time I was on camera with y'all. I don't think it was.
I think this might be the first time I've ever seen you not more or less clean shaven.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I grew it out for Vegas because I figured it'd make me look a little bit more distinguished. Not sure how much longer I'll keep it, but I'm rocking it for now.
Fair enough. I think it looks good.
Right. So Pi, I've been out for about a week. No big drama went down, right? No big, almost game-breaking drama went down. I'm just checking. I'm sure the answer is no. I'm just checking.
Nah, you're all good.
All right.
No, not to go back to that, because it's definitely a subtle thing. But the one thing I will say is I had that thought that night. Wow. The most dramatic or eventful day of the forum, or couple days with everything even before that, is the week Tiki's gone. Tiki's gonna be so mad he's missing this.
You know what? I have a history of this happening, Pi. Did you know that? Did you know about my history of terrible shit going on when I'm on a trip?
I do not.
Okay, so let's break it down. Shall we? Okay, so let's see. There was one year where I went to Universal Studios literally the same day as the Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce McDonald's debacle. We were planning to go to McDonald's, but we were running late. Thank God we didn't, right? It might have been that day. I'm actually pretty sure it was that day. That very day, or maybe it was a different trip, but I know it was a day that I went to Universal Studios in Hollywood. Hollywood was burning to the ground because that was the day that the Weinstein allegations came out. I was in fucking Hollywood for that. I have also... I was stranded in Southern California for a day because I was supposed to fly back the day that the big Northern California fire started in 2017. I also I flew to Disney World about less than a week after January 6th happened.
Perfect timing, as always.
Right. Going to Disney World, no less. And then let's see. I was at Disney World for the opening of Runaway Railway, which happened about a week before the entire world shut down because of COVID.
Yep.
You see my point here? You see my point? It's kind of ridiculous. Vacation. I know, right? All right.
But to your point about the Rick and Morty sauce thing, I know we're on a tight schedule, but like I was in college at the time, and me and Obi actually were like living across the street from McDonald's and liked Rick and Morty. So we thought, yeah, we'll swing by there that day. And there was a line around the door, several people in cosplay, and one of the workers was going around telling people, hey, we only have 4 sauce packets.
Oh, man.
And 2 posters.
Right.
So if that's what you're here for, I just want to give you that heads up before you wait in line too long.
Oh, man.
It was like an hour or 2 before it was supposed to start. We just had nothing else going on that day.
That's crazy. All right. Muppet Fan says it's almost as bad whenever I am in a Disney park and there's always a British person. What? He says I'm Irish and the accent is slightly annoying when you hear it over and over again. Okay.
See, I love British guests because if you go to a water park, 90% of the people there are either British or cast members. So I don't know if that's a well-known thing.
All right. So, Pi, tell us what we are here for.
So this is a big night. Big prompt. This is the last expedition of the main game. The challenge was to give Hong Kong Disneyland, specifically their Fantasyland, the unique anchor attraction they never got. Like, literally never got. Still sad. But we can change that because we're on a time-traveling river. So that's what guest players did. So we're going to go over, recap their podcast. And since this is the end of the main game, we also going to unveil the final 8. There is one person who's already a finalist because they won the Golden Dole Whip. So if you could reveal the first finalist and double check, I forget if I ordered it first or 8th. AGP, Architectural Guinea Pig, has the little Golden Dole Whip there. Then there's also, I don't know when we're going to reveal the rest. Everyone already knew that one. But each team voted in a finalist. And Tiki is going to get to vote in a finalist. And I have the rest of the finalists ready to go, also on little papers for whenever.
Now, just to be clear, Pi, I'm picking the last one, right? Because that's specifically the role I wanted.
Yeah, you can do the last one.
Yeah.
I wrote down 8 names, so that way, whatever you do or do not choose, if it's one of mine, I still have a backup.
Okay, fair enough. We should talk about how do you want to do this? Do you want to reveal a couple people and then talk about a project, then reveal a couple more people? How do you want to do this?
Well, there's going to be 8. We already revealed one. I say we do the first 4. Is that the first 4, and then save the second 4 for after.
For after we've talked about both projects.
Do you think that sounds good?
Sounds fine to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Monorail Red in the comments here, just showing up, just shouting her out. She's saying the poor Irish.
In case you missed it, Monorail Red, I am a top-nosed with assistant. And Ace, yes, the ones who voted in the projects. I figured that would be a good place to start.
All right. So, second finalist, Obi, why don't you reveal it?
Yeah. Drum roll. Space Mountain.
All right.
Voted in by Team Boats.
Nice.
Congratulations. An actual leader in the forums. Everyone knows Space. It's great to see him back and in full competitive space.
Yeah, he's been in the mentor seat for a long time. And it's good that he's finally kind of coming around and is fully competitive again. It's nice to see.
Oh, yeah. It's been good to see.
All right.
Similarly, there's actually a tie for Team Boats. So I gave it to both of them, especially because they were both people that were probably going to be finalists anyways. So let's reveal the third finalist.
Outbound. All right,
Outbound.
there's my first pick.
I mean, Outbound's done amazing this game. Really has been bringing his A game, finding new things to do, which is not easy to do when you've played this many games.
By the way, I hate to say it, but I feel like the draft has kind of got away from me a little bit. I forgot to update it before I went on my trip, and now I feel like it's too far gone.
You know, we can go through. Obi's willing to help. We can figure out the draft. Even we'll do a redraft at some point, just among finalists, maybe.
I was maybe thinking what we could do is, instead of doing all the complicated math that I was trying to do, which was really just overcomplicating it, let's just do a winner takes all. Let's just do, like, whoever has the winner on their team, including Monorail Red on OB's team, that's the winner. Let's just make it simple like that. I apologize, guys.
I think that's probably going to be a good way to do it.
Yeah. All right.
So before we get to the projects, we have the one vote in from Team Birds. That is Pergron.
What a surprise. Oh my god.
I don't think anyone's super surprised that Pergron's making it forward, but he's definitely earned it. He's been a leader in just about every project he's been a part of this season.
Honestly, out of the first four, I feel like the only one that I wouldn't have necessarily bet on making it in when the game started was AGP, but I feel like AGP has been like just on a roll this season. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So without further ado, I both forget which team did what and which team turned theirs in first. So help me out with that.
Team Boats entered in first, and they did do Mulan, the boat ride. I don't think any of them brought that up or noticed that, because I feel like they would have pointed out, but Team Boats ended on a boat ride.
Is it literally just called Mulan, the boat ride?
No, it does have a name, and I should know the name.
All right. So I'm going to say straight up here, I honestly think out of all the prompts, appropriately enough, this one might be the closest. I don't necessarily think this one was like the biggest home run from either team, but I do feel like just as far as the quality level goes between these two projects, I feel like it's so interesting because, like, I'll just give my kind of like thesis statements about both of them right off the bat, because I feel like their pros and cons kind of dovetail into each other, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
So on Team Boats, what I really like about Team Boats is I really like that they went for boat ride. I really love the outdoor set pieces. That to me was the thing that really sang about the Team Boats project. I kind of wish that they wouldn't have leaned that hard into it basically being the same layout as Splash Mountain, because I don't really think you needed to do that. I really think it could have stood on its own without the references to like how it mirrors Splash's layout. But that being said, I do think that the outdoor components to this really elevate it. That being said, I think for me, by far the biggest con with this is the book report factor. I mean, it's hard to do a Mulan attraction without doing a book report, and there are a couple interesting twists y'all do with it, specifically in the second half of the attraction that I did really like. But by and large, it was just like, yeah, this scene happens, and then this scene happens, and then this scene happens.
Yeah.
On the contrary, I think Alice in Wonderland, I mean, you know, of course I'm wearing it to support it, but what I feel like the biggest strength of this project is also the biggest weakness for me, which is that essentially, well, I do really appreciate the use of the trackless dark ride. I very much agree with you in the sense that it's a really good use of the technology.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing that that threw me off about it was the fact that, by and large, the layout, obviously the actual scenes are going to be a little bit different, but the order of the scenes is very similar to the Disneyland attraction. And
yes,
I had a hard time.
It's necessarily a problem, but it is like, okay, yeah, it's the same sequence, just better, which is what Tokyo did with Honey Hunt.
Right, but I don't know. I kind of wish that you would have. I mean, like, for example, having the Mad Tea Party after the Queen of Hearts, right? Like, that's a very specific choice, and I feel like they could have twisted it around. The Queen of Hearts should be a finale. It really should be. But let's get into it. Let's see. I'm gonna list off some comments here. There's more than one person on Team Boats. Yeah, I would assume there's more than one person on Team Boats.
In the final 8? Yeah, I mean, there's more than 8 people in boats. I mean, there's not 8 people in boats. I will admit, when going through my picks for finalists, I didn't look at like balancing from teams. I just went with the top 8 plus what other people said, which also honestly probably would be my picks too.
I mean, I think that's fair enough.
But there is definitely people from both teams.
Let's see. Tegan says, as a member of Team Boats, I can absolutely vouch for AGP. He's been killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Tegan says, opening day Hong Kong Disneyland is such a great sandbox to play in because there's just so much the park needs. Could be a fantastic location for future prompts. This is not foreshadowing. Totally not, Tegan. Totally not.
Totally not foreshadowing. Foreshadowing, Tiki.
Yes.
You can talk about that later. Anyways, you're right, Richard's victims. Mickey costumes are always creepy.
I saw on fucking Fremont Street, bro. I saw a full on, like, this must have been a person that full on fucking lifted the costume straight out of the fucking, like, they must have had a job in the costume department and full on ripped it off because it was absolute. I don't know about like the actual clothing part of it, but the face part of it was absolute. There's no question in my mind it was an authentic Disney face. That was even more creepy than usual.
Amazing. Well done. A+.
All right. So yeah, Team Boats. I did get into my criticisms about the book report, but let me tell you, I do really appreciate the fact that you have the big drop at the Avalanche, and then you kind of forego the rest of the action stuff. I thought that was a smart choice because I really don't feel like you need both the stuff on the mountain and the stuff in the third act. I feel like, yeah, you have the mountain stuff, you streamline that into the celebration. I thought that was really smart.
Yes. And I feel like that decision, and just in general, I feel like there's a strong focus on like the emotional journey more than the plot, is why it being a book report didn't affect me or wasn't as negative as I thought it would usually be. The only time where it really got to me was the opening sequence with the honor to us all. I feel like if you had cut that, it wouldn't have felt like a book report at all. If you just went right into reflection.
Totally. I actually kind of agree with that. Yeah, that's a really good point because reflection is like, or maybe we could have had just like a setup for, like the matchmaker and everything within the queue. Maybe the queue could have been the matchmaker stuff.
Yeah. That being said, it is a really fun scene, and I love a scene full of gags.
Mm-hmm. And also, Honor to Us All was the song that Disney chose to have as the headlining song in the Mulan sing-along. So, there's that.
Fair enough.
Let's see. No, generally speaking, I mean, it's far from the worst of the book report projects that I've seen.
No, it worked really well despite being a book report.
Yeah. I think one of the most striking elements is having that burnt, that burnt village set piece right at the top of the lift hill.
Oh, that would be incredible. Like that moment, that like mood whiplash. It's something the Mulan movie does so well, so capturing it was great.
Yeah, totally. And I don't really... I mean, I can't really think of a lot of Disney scenes that are like very like tonally somber like that. Can you?
No. And that coming right after such a goofy song, and then that being the last song, so there's no song after, like, no, now we mean business.
Right, right.
Great moment. Uh,
I
Speaking of great moments, something I do also want to shout out in projects is the queue, as
mhm,
well as the whole focus on feng shui.
sure, sure.
I think they did a really good job with it and blending it into Hong Kong Disneyland that way.
I agree. One thing that I found just not even questionable, but just like I don't really know a way around it. Like, I really like the idea of repurposing "A Girl We're Fighting For" as like the finale song. I like that idea in concept, right? Having said that, "A Girl We're Fighting With" is that's not a great lyric, dude. Like, that implies that you're like looking for a girl to pick a fight with. I obviously get what you're trying to say, and I honestly have no idea what other lyric you could use, but yeah.
It's one of those moments. You've talked to us about before about like joke projects that sometimes it's tough to like write the comedy because we're not actually comedians. So like you just see like this is where a joke would go. I'm gonna kind of let it slide if it's not actually a joke.
Mhm.
I feel like for me that was the song. I was like, we're not actually musicians. Like, I mean, some of us actually are. Tegan's been in multiple concerts this round, and Jokers has made several songs. But I felt the same way like that. I was like, that's not the best lyric, but I get what they're going for. And like, if you have like a songwriter actually take a pass at it, or like if Jokers had more time to work on it, I see what they were going for. It would have worked.
I like the idea. I like the idea of moving that song to the end and having it be like the final celebration song. All that is good.
Oh yeah.
Um, I also low key think that maybe it goes on for one scene too long. It kind of starts one scene too long and goes on one scene too long, I think.
Which I can agree with. And I think that goes back to what you said at the beginning, where I'm not sure if using like the exact layout of Splash Mountain more or less was
Right.
quite the right move. Because like that scene at the end is here's the riverboat, here's Brer Rabbit hanging out by his house. But now
Exactly.
it's here's the Emperor, here's Mulan hugging her dad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel like I feel like it could have ended with the Emperor, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe have like a photograph of Mulan and her father at the exit or something like that.
Yeah, that could work really well. Like a good balance between the two instead of a full scene. Either way, I do really like all the scenes. Like the anything with suggesting cutting is not because it's bad. It's just I think the pacing could have flowed slightly better, just trimming a little bit from the beginning, a little bit from the end.
Exactly. Right.
And we're also nitpicking because it's really a good ride. So it's not like actual problems to complain about like there is sometimes.
All right. Anything else with this one?
Uh oh, I like the boats of the rockets. I thought that was really cute.
That was fun. That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, girl wolf fighting fish. I think we got it.
Brilliant. All right. So moving on to.
I'm just gonna assume AGP typed out a girl wolf fighting fish.
All right. Team Birds.
Team birds. Bird time. Really love this Wonderland ride, and Obi wants to make it very clear that Alice in Wonderland is one of their favorite movies, and because of that, that was an instant win in their mind, and perhaps the Imagineering project they've seen they most want to be real.
Yeah, for sure. I can totally see that. I also think that Alice in Wonderland it works even better as a trackless dark ride than Pooh does. And Pooh is the really funny thing about Honey Hunt is that I still to this day think that it might be the single best use of the trackless technology, and it was the first one.
Yeah, like I've only seen it in videos, so I guess I can't really say, but from what I've seen, yeah, they nailed it the first time, and I've never quite gotten quite to that point again.
especially in Rise of the Resistance. Have I mentioned how much I think Rise of the Resistance is just a
See,
little overrated?
I
Just
know
a
you have
tiny bit
problems with Rise of
overrated?
the Resistance, but also I feel like it is a really great use of the trackless dog ride. Like that's one of its biggest strengths is because playing around with the other droid cars, they go in unexpected directions, they can run and like dash around. I feel like
Yeah,
this
but when you
is one of their
design a
big
ride
strengths.
that 5 years later, half of the effects don't even fucking work.
Yeah, but the trackless still works.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
But Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters, I actually do think looks really fun. I hear from everyone who's ridden it, it's incredibly boring.
And also an incredibly slow moving line that is absolutely not worth it.
Yeah.
Red says Rise is great, but Honey Hut really showcases the tech well. Yeah, I mean, look, I definitely think that Rise, that is, I will agree that the best part of Rise is the way that the vehicle interacts with the setting. I do like the fact that the droid is an active character in the story. I like all that. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast is worth a shout out. Yeah, what I like about Beauty and the Beast is that it feels less like individual scenes and more like almost like mini rides. You know what I mean? Like each scene feels like a mini attraction almost, which I feel is a really interesting way to do it.
It's really charming. I feel the plot is laid out a little underwhelmingly, at least from video, but all the effects and each of the individual scenes, like you say, as little rides, was fantastic.
Uh-huh. Theme Park Priest, Honey Hut was closed on the trip. That sucks, man.
You should have just
That's
broken
rough.
in.
Oh god.
Just find a rock, throw it through a window. I'm assuming there's windows, and then climb on in.
Jesus.
If the FBI or Mickey Mouse is listening, that was a joke.
I feel like this forum has really gravitated towards the FBI open up memes.
Yeah.
I feel like suddenly that's become a thing. All right, yeah, Alice, I don't really have a ton to say about it because, like I said, essentially this attraction really is just the Disneyland ride, but in a trackless format and obviously much larger scale, which
Yeah.
is a great concept. But again, I would love to see it, but I don't really have a lot of feedback on it.
Yes, it's tough to talk about. Even when I was doing the review, I kept thinking, well, this review is too short, so let me go to another scene I didn't really have anything to say about and just write, I like this in a different way.
Right.
Because I do like it. I feel like the best scene in my mind was the Cheshire Cat being like, oh, this way, or maybe this way, and everyone going,
Yeah,
like,
but that's literally in the Disneyland version.
yeah, but I mean, like, with the cars going with it.
Yeah,
But
sure,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no, it is.
Muppet Fan, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with Muppet Fan. I am not a fan of the trackless rides. I get the appeal from a design point of view, but I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's like if a ride system is going to go down that often, don't fucking use it for everything, please. That's kind of where I'm at with trackless.
I love the rides. You need some variety because it's not the most reliable.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially at studios, as much as I understand the problems with both, but I do love rides and I love Mickey's. But when those are two of your main headliners and they both break for at least an hour every day, if not more.
Mm-hmm. Rise breaking down.
Don't spoil your finale project.
Rise breaking down for just an hour. That's cute. That's fucking adorable. That is just straight up cottage core quaint pie.
Look, not every ride can be as reliable as the smell of fence. Popcorn, which was broken.
Oh my god. And it's brand. Oh my god, it's brand new and it's already broken.
I think I said this in the review that I love trackless dark rides. I feel a lot of people don't take advantage of them, and a lot of the ones in real life and in projects I feel like would be better if they were a different ride system.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But like this one wasn't. This one was great as it was. And again, trackless Thunder Mountain, I support that one.
That would be insane. I mean,
someday we're gonna get a trackless roller coaster. Like, it's going to happen eventually.
Oh man! Oh, could you? Oh, Jesus Christ! That would be crazy,
right?
I can't even picture how that
off
would
like
work.
as a regular roller coaster, and they just all kind of go off in different like skate parks.
Oh man! Oh, that's awesome! Oh, I would love that. I would love that.
Like, we're at the point where right now trackless ride vehicles can't go up a light hill. Oh, you meant the mountain itself is trackless, so you just ride a roller coaster as it Roombas around Frontierland.
Oh my god!
Fair enough.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I really love the Wonderland ride. Like you said, not much to say about it beyond good.
All right. So I guess that's about it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Unless anyone has anything else to say. Obi, do you have... Yeah, that was a good addition. I think we're good.
Trackless Big Thunder Mountain crashed into the trackless Cinderella's castle. Okay, what's that one fucking like dystopian sci-fi movie where it was like it was like there were like all these cities, but they were like mobile cities.
Oh, I know the one you're
you know what I'm
talking
talking about.
I didn't see it because it looked really dumb.
It looked awful, but yeah.
I remember the trailers for
Mortal
that.
Instruments, I want to say. Anyone in the comments?
Because my sister was super into that book, so I know that's like Angel Hunters or Angel Hunting Demons, something like that. Monster Vampire Hunters.
Mortal Engines?
Things.
Hold on. I'm gonna Google this now. I think it's Mortal Engines. Yeah, Mortal
Engines. That's it.
Oh my god! Fucking yeah. That was that was a
vampires
thing.
in Mortal Instruments. I know that.
I knew it was Mortal something. So yeah, I'm
Mortal Engines.
Like a crossover between Mortal Instruments and Disney parks, or Mortal Engines and Disney parks.
Well, where it's Mortal Instruments in there. There can be a vampire. The only thing I apparently know about Mortal Instruments.
Where it's just like all the landmarks of the Disney parks, all the weenies are just in this big desert landscape, just going up against each other. You got like the Tower of Terror, you got Everest. They all have like their little territories. Oh god.
And yes, Tegan, it has to start by yelling out,
Mortal Engines! Nick says Mortal Instruments only has one actual vampire.
I think I remember, and this was actually an interesting thing, and probably because it's the only thing I remember from the movie or the book series, and that's why I remember those vampires. This is a vampire, but he's like Christian or Jewish, but because he's a vampire, you can't say prayers because it burns him, and that's like angsty. And I feel like that's an interesting concept that I don't trust that book series from everything else I remember hearing about it to like properly explore. But like, it's an interesting idea. And yes, Tegan, Spaceship Earth would dominate. It would literally roll. Well, it's very top heavy though.
I feel like Mount Prometheus would dominate because it's got like the fire going for it. Like they could use that as like a projectile.
And it's got that like nice slant to it.
Right,
so, like, right. Go like, under things and tip them. Battle bots now.
This is fucking ridiculous. Now I just need to see this as a fan film. Oh god. Can you tell I'm excited for Furiosa?
That one's gonna be good.
Oh, by the way, did you see my post about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
No, I haven't looked. I saw it was posted, but I haven't got a chance to look at it.
I just want to vent about this really quick. Okay. The movie's been out a fucking week, and my theater already took it off of the giant screens.
What did they put it on? What other movies are out?
If! Goddamn if!
Who's watching a family comedy on a big
screen? On a giant, I know, on a fucking giant screen. I know. It literally pisses, it pisses me off so much. It's like, of course, the 1 week that I'm on vacation and can't go to the movies is the 1 week where my theater is playing like one of the very few franchise summer movies I'm actively looking forward to that's actively going to be improved by watching it on a larger format. Fuck you, theater.
Well, maybe it would also be cool to go watch in IMAX or Dolby what Ryan Reynolds was doing on his weekend while writing Deadpool.
Oh my god, dude! Now look, if I don't necessarily think it looks all that great. It's basically a straight up ripoff of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah,
but it is directed by John Krasinski, and I do love the Quiet Place movies. That being said, it's a radical departure from the Quiet Place movies, so we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's so funny because the Quiet Place movies, one of the things I really love about them is the fact that the cast is so self-contained, Quiet Place Part 2, they bring in Cillian Murphy as like the one new element. He kicks ass. I'm a bigger fan of Cillian Murphy in Quiet Place Part 2 than I am in Oppenheimer. I'm just going to straight up say it.
I'm still mad we didn't get the Tron Legacy sequel with Cillian Murphy as the villain.
Instead, we're probably getting Leto. Because, Jared Leto is not problematic at all. He doesn't have, like, a literal fucking cult.
Remember when COVID started and he was on an island with his cult and didn't know about it till, like, a month later?
God.
Anyways. We are nearing the end of our time available, because I know you're on a tight schedule tonight. So I think we should bring it back to both Smell-O-Fence and the reason people are here tonight, Smell-O-Fence. But besides Smell-O-Fence, it is time to reveal the rest of the finalists, I think.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. But first, real quick, shout out, Outbound, yes, the Sorcerer Mickey hat would win the fight because he wants revenge. He's got that dog in him. So, we have 4 finalists left. I'm going to reveal 3, then you're going to say the last one, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right. So, the 5th finalist then. And again, everyone's done a fantastic job. But 5th finalist, ready to go. This is Lord Fazinator, Muppets fan.
Nice.
Yeah, a new player here, one who has had a little trouble adjusting and getting used to the game. But once he got going, He's been doing great. Multiple people vouched for him and said, "Nah, he should go further. He's got this."
No, I totally agree. I mean, I feel like he was a huge wild card in the community for a while, but honestly, I feel like the whole debacle with Disney Universal Fanboy very much did him a lot of favors as far as like I feel like that was almost like a cheat code to him integrating himself deeper into the community, because it's like I feel like a lot of I feel like a lot of people were like, okay, you know what, Muppet fan, he's a bit eccentric. He's not that though. He is far from that.
Yeah. Muppet fan might be young, but he's not like that kind of young. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to see it.
No, he did a great job. Again, also saying everyone deserves it. Everyone's doing great. I'm not stalling for time. All right.
I also want to point out that I'm very relieved that we're not going to have to figure out like who gets what placement for the draft anymore. That's kind of a weight off my back.
That is very nice. I also have that written up, depending on who you chose.
Okay.
Anyways,
you can reveal it anyways if you want to, but
yeah, we'll reveal that off podcast though.
All right.
6th finalist, Joker's Wild.
Jokers. All right.
Not super surprised. Someone who's always really fun. I think it really. What hand, AGP?
It's thing from the Addams Family. We got him on loan.
Really expensive. He needs to be back on set for Wednesday. But yeah, no, Joker's is really fun. And this last project, one of the things that made it work so well was how fun it was. And that was a great showcase of Joker's talents.
Totally.
So who's going to be next to get the admit one ticket, which is what the sticker sheet's themed as for Smell Offense?
Oh,
The
God, I'm getting nervous.
finalist. Monorail Red.
Fuck.
Means Team Obi is still in it. Amazing artist. Really great writer. Captures fun and whimsy so well.
I didn't mean to say fuck to Monorail Red getting in. I'm just like, there's a lot of people still on the board that deserve to be in. That's why I said
Right?
fuck. To be clear.
I know.
Like, fuck, Monorail Red, really?
I literally, for like an hour before this podcast, had everyone's names written on the whiteboard and just going through people. Well, can I cross this one name off? No, because I might do them back. Let's put a star here, question mark here. I was like a madman with the wall, like Charlie from Always Sunny, looking for Pepe Sylvia.
I just started Always Sunny, by the way. I'm on like season 4. It's great.
Love that show. I'm a couple seasons behind. I need to rewatch it, honestly.
All right.
You know what, Monorail Red? If you do win it, I will make Obi a small WWE belt.
Okay, so Jesus Christ, I am going to have to go through and I'm going to reveal everyone who's still left, all right?
Yes.
Or do you have that information? Okay, tell me who's left. Because I know I told you a name.
Information in just a second.
But I'm not. All right, I know I already told you a name on who I was leaning towards, but man, there's some other big names on the board.
Oh, yeah. No, I fully get it. Like, every time I would think, well, this could be an easy choice, I would go back, no, none of these choices are easy. Everyone here really...
I think I'm still gonna go with who I was leaning towards, but let's just hear the names.
So this is who is left, and first off, AGP, what hands? Disney Man 1. Ace
Disney
Astro.
Okay.
Tegan Pilots of Chicken.
Okay.
Theme Park Priest.
Okay.
Brea Panther.
Okay.
And Walt Wiz. That's not in a particular order, just the random of when I was listing people.
Is that 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, because it was the final 13, and then it's going to the final 8. So 6 people left. I'm
going to cut 3 and then deliberate, all right?
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and cut Brea Panther. I'm sure they've been doing a good job. I just don't necessarily think that they have like had any sort of like really big standout moments in the season.
They've been a really great support player, but they have not taken the spotlight really.
Right. Okay, let's see. Oh god, I'm gonna have to check this list again. Good. Sorry. I'm literally stalling right now. This is a lot harder than I thought it'd be. Okay.
It's not easy because they really all, every single one of them, I could see the argument for, no, they should be final 8, final 3 even.
Okay, I'm going to cut Disney Man 1 as well. Pretty much similar reason to Brea Panther, where really solid supporting player. I just don't really think they've had the moment to really stand out.
All right. Yeah. They've done it really great with support, really great with writing. They haven't... I did really like the Little Shop of Horrors show. But it's tough.
Okay, Ace of Pie, check your DM. What? Are you checking them?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay, well, go ahead and say that
Ace was saying he's okay with drawing if it makes it easier.
He's okay with what?
With drawing his name if it makes it easier.
I don't get it.
Like, Ace is saying he's okay with drawing his name from you considering him if it makes it easier for you to choose.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying he was okay with a draw. I was like, what? Okay. All right, Ace. Yeah, I will. I'm not gonna lie. You were one of the again, very very strong player, very close to making it in, but I just don't think you have the standout moment, and that's what I'm mostly looking for.
It's tough to find.
And I'm gonna also cut Theme Park Priest. Theme Park Priest, you're a great player, but I just think that he's just spent too much of this game away, which obviously is not his fault. But there's been a few projects where he's just not been active, which obviously for good reason. He's working on his career and everything, which is totally cool. Yeah. But I do need to cut him, which leaves Tegan and Waltz Wiz. And this is so tough. This is so tough because I really Tegan. I still kind of feel bad about the whole thing that happened in So You Want to Be an Imagineer, where me and Goofy's Yuck Yuck were literally the whole season. We were fucking convinced that she was going to be a runaway winner, it wasn't even going to be close. And then she ultimately only ends up getting one jury vote. So that's still kind of looming over me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be happy if I have to cut her with that circumstance. But Waltz Wiz, I love me an underdog. And I do think that ever since you kind of lit a fire under his ass, he really did step up to the plate in a big way. I love new players. So Tegan, I'm so sorry. I really hate to do this. But yeah, I am going to go with my initial gut reaction and move Waltz Wiz onto the finals. I'm so sorry, Tegan. I am so sorry.
I can definitely see that. I don't know if Waltz Wiz might be a controversial choice, but I feel like if Waltz Wiz was playing the way he's been playing these last 2-3 rounds the entire season, I don't think it would even be a question. He'd be in the final 8.
Essentially, Tegan, I want to give a newer person a shot. This is not anything against you as a player. I totally think you deserve to be in this final 8, probably even more than he does, because like you said, he hasn't really been firing on his A game the whole time.
He's been growing so much.
This is almost purely a producer decision more so than a skill-based decision, if that makes sense.
I get what you're going for. Yeah, you always want to give the new people their shot. Especially when they're just starting to get going. You don't want them to be eliminated right when they're starting to build.
Exactly. So that's more or less why I kind of told you right out the gate, yeah, I'm probably leaning towards Waltz Wiz. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, all right. So let's lay out that final 8 one more time. And I need to get rid of that Team Birds banner, too.
Go for it. Let me just add Wiz on there. Would you like me to read it out? Do you have it ready to read out yourself? How do you
No. By all means, read it out. I do not have it ready.
We have AGP, Architectural Guinea Pig. We have Space Mountain 354. We have Outbound, no longer flying, but still outbound. We have Pergran, who's left the studio and is now all Pergran all the time. We have Lord Fosinator, the fan of Muppets. We have Jokers, and I hear he's a wild one. We have Monorail Red, who's never been seen in the same room as Mary Blair. Think about that one.
What?
And Waltz Wiz, the Wiz of Waltz.
All right. Well, congratulations to everyone. Tegan, thank you so much for being so cool about it. I really appreciate it. I guess I'll go ahead and make some announcements. I'm not exactly sure on the timeline for this, but I kid you guys not, literally within an hour of each other, both Space and Tegan approached me to be essentially the co-host of their individual games. And I'm a crazy person, so I said yes to both of them. So Tegan, we're definitely going to have to, I'm not sure exactly how much of a role you want me to play. I'm pretty sure it's mostly going to be like kind of similar to the role that I had here, where it's mostly just giving commentary. I don't really think I'm going to be all that involved in the game mechanic side of things. Sorcerer's Apprentice side of things, though, I'm going to be very involved with that. Space wants to really collaborate with me on it. It's going to be kind of like a meeting of the minds between the biggest game that came from WDW Magic, and I'm also wanting to infuse a little bit of my personal style from So You Want to Be an Imagineer into it as well. I'm going to be helping with podcasting as well as helping with the judging and creating the project roster and all that good stuff. So yeah, season 8 confirmed. Yeah, Sorcerer's Apprentice 8 confirmed. Let's do it right now.
There
yeah.
you go.
I wasn't really sure how aware of it anybody was. I think Space has been keeping it pretty much under the belt, right?
This is the first official announcement. I think the only people that knew about it before now was Space, and I think me and Tegan heard a little bit of it. But it is official. Sorcerer's Apprentice coming back.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing that Tegan's game is going to be first. Tegan, are you planning on doing it over the summer? I'm sorry. I still kind of have Vegas brain, so I'm not really all that clear on the timeline.
Understanding is Sorcerer's Apprentice will be the summer game, and Tegan's game was planned for the fall.
Got it. Okay, well, shit. That means that we're going to have a lot of work to do to get Sorcerer's Apprentice ready to go, but I'm ready. I'm willing to do it.
And I'm ready to pass this hat on to someone else.
Okay. All right. So, Pi, now remind me, what's next for this game? Is it like one final project, or what are we doing now?
There are 2 last projects. There's one project for the final 8, all merged together, and who knows, maybe a surprise person with a math pun the name will help you out with that one. And then, after that, from there, a final 3 for one last round. And then from there, one of them will be chosen as a winner. And that final 3 will be solo projects.
Okay, interesting. All right, well, y'all have been awesome. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go around and thank everyone. Red says, as the winner of the first Sorcerer's Apprentice, it's great to see it still rolling with season 8. Yeah, it is cool to see it still going.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Red, I'm with you, man. I really have not caught up with the story. I really can't tell you, like, who won what season, who hosted what season. I'm really not up to date on that. Let's see. Tegan says, go back and look at the Sorcerer's Apprentice season 7 thread. It was legendary.
I think it's like 300 pages to read through, so you might want to skim it.
All right, Little Blue is here. He says he's just here for the fun of it. Just got done recording his review of Hello Dolly. So, yeah, happy to have you, Little Blue, but we're just kind of wrapping up, so. Let's see. I think that's about it. 300. Yeah, about 300 pages. I think that's accurate.
There's a lot of off-topic talk during that game. It was fantastic. It was crazy, but it was great.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Stay tuned on this channel because coming up in 5 minutes, Dragon and I are going to be covering Porco Rosso for Miyazaki. And that's a personal favorite of both Dragon and myself. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right. See y'all later. Have a good one.
Goodbye. Smell you later.